Welcome back, my creative friends. So today I've decided to play with alcohol inks. I've got a big pile of them here. Just put them in frame. I haven't got the whole collection from Ranger, but I do have quite a bit of a selection. And for those of you who think it's a lot, yes, it is a lot. But just bear in mind that I started this collection years ago. So I didn't buy it all in one go because it does add up cost-wise, obviously. Some of these bottles, you can tell, are pretty old and murky right there. And I've had them for years, literally at least 6 years, maybe more. So just to tell you, don't despair. Just get a color at a time. Just get what you can and, just work on your budget. You don't need all the colors in the world, and I certainly don't have all of them here. But I do have a lot, for sure. Okay, so I've got my piece of Yupo paper right here in front of me. To start with, I'm thinking some salmon. What else can we get? Maybe aqua. And maybe patina. Nice, very summery and very pastel-y colors, I guess. I'm going to move these out of the way a little bit, just so I can have a little more room. And I've got my Ranger blending solution here. It's almost empty though. And I'm just going to play. I don't really have much of a plan apart from what colors I want to start with. And I'm just going to drop some alcohol blending solution and try not to put stuff all over my Yupo paper here. I certainly wasn't very careful with it. I'm just going to squirt a little bit and blow on it a little. And before it evaporates, I'm just going to drop my inks right in there. So I always open them up away from my page because sometimes it dries up on the sides of the cap. And when you open them up, all the stuff, the dry stuff, falls onto your artwork. Not what we want. So just nothing complicated. Let's just drop some inks. This one's not really pastel, but it is pretty. Absolutely. Just going to blow on it with my straw. Try not to get too much in front of the camera so you can't see the back of my head. Now, because I wasn't too careful with my being clean and, I've got some little bits of stuff on the page. It's not a big deal. I'm not too worried about it. But if I see a big chunk, then I'll take it off. Okay, what else can we do? Let's add some citrus. So that's definitely vibrant. And this bottle's almost empty, actually. Also very dried up, so definitely open that away from my Yupo. Let's do a drop first, see what happens. Just let it develop. Alcoholics is just so magical. So I'm just gonna let it move. We add a drop of blending solution or two to get things to move around. And then help it along with my straw. That circle is cool in the middle. It looks like a large cell or large bubble sort of floating in space here. It's quite fun. Okay, now trying, I have a tendency to kind of want to fill up my page, and any blank space never lasts very long. So I'm going to try not to do that too much today. I'll try. I'm going to add a bit of Pinata Rich Gold. So with any mixative, just like any other brand or any other medium, I mean, with metallics in it. Quite often, the metallic particles are suspended in liquid, and if you don't use them for a little bit, the particles go back to the bottom of the bottle. If you don't shake them up, you'll just get the liquid, no metallic. So make sure you shake up your bottle really nice and hard before you open up your bottle. Let's add a bit of this gold. Drop here, drop there to break up that big circle. Drop here. You can add a little blending solution on top. That just breaks up all the particles and just go crazy. That's just so pretty, and they look like fireworks. It'll look better once it's all dry. Now, a little bit more. Let's do it the other way around. Let's add some solution first. Add the gold in it. I can see a tiny bit of dust on there. You can see completely different effect. Well, not different effect, but it just reacts differently. Let's try it again here. It's much more diluted this way. Not diluted. Let me try to explain. It looks like the particles are much smaller if you start with a blending solution first. Either way, I'm going to blow them around so I have like little bits of glittery gold throughout. I'm going to add a little bit more of the aqua around here. Maybe a little bit here. Just let it do its thing. That's the thing with alcohol inks. You don't want to rush them too much. You don't have that much time to play with them. That's the thing. But you don't also want to just, go too crazy. Now, I don't really like the dark area here. So I'm just going to tap it with a piece of clean paper towel. You can also do it with a baby wipe. That's not too wet. Just tap it there, and that removed the dark line. Now what I'm going to do is just peel off my paper a little bit here so I can see what's going on. Isn't that pretty? It was very simple, but it's also, the beauty lies in the simplicity, I think. I'm just going to move it around this way. I'm going to reactivate the ink here, a little bit of solution. Blow on it. Wipe off that little leg, I suppose, or try to. Just a bit more solution. Dropping stuff on the floor once again. It's just that easy to remove something you don't like. Then instead, I'm going to add a bit more of the salmon. Right there. A little pop of color in the middle of all these blue and green. Can't help to add a little bit more gold though. It's so addictive. Let it move around. A bit more solution, just a drop or two. Just to break up the particles of the gold and make them spread around. If you've never tried alcohol inks, just get a few colors that you love and that play well together, and maybe just one metallic and some blending solution, and that's all you need. Oh, and some Yupo paper, of course. There are other surfaces you can play on. But Yupo, I think, is the best surface. It will give you the best result. That's a surface where the inks move around the best, in my opinion. So if you start with something that's not such a great surface, then they will move around a lot. You may not enjoy it very much, and you know, you may not be very happy with your results. But if you start with the right tools, then obviously you're having the most fun. You can also do it on ceramic tiles, which are very inexpensive. They can become a little bit bulky to store, and also you can break them. So ideally, if you're just starting out, just get some Yupo paper, and prices have come down heaps now, so it's really inexpensive now. It's really worth getting. Okay, so I'm trying to look from a different angle to see what I've got, and where there's a bit of a line I don't like so much, I'm just going to tap it just a little bit once again, just to remove you know, some section I don't like so much, or at least to make them disappear a little bit. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to create a fun background, and I've got it. So I'm just going to dry it off with my hairdryer. Okay, my little artwork is finished. I know, it's simple, right? And easy and fast. Let me show you up close how beautiful this gold is. Hopefully you can pick it up in the light. Look how much, you know, how pretty that is. It's almost like adding foil, because it's the Piñata rich gold is very metallic, much more than the Ranger gold. So even though it looks like it's wet, everything's dry, and it looks pretty cool. Love it. So what could you do with this? Well, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You could just leave it as is. It's pretty already. But if you wanted to do something else, you could turn it into a card, or even a couple of cards, cut it in half, and then add something on the front. You could use this as a mixed media background to create an original page, or just cut out shapes to collage in other mixed media journal pages, for instance. Lots of things you can do. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of inspiration, and I had a bit of fun using my inks today. I'll definitely make sure to do it more often, because it's just very relaxing. So if you haven't tried it, please give it a go, and if you've enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching on my website, then give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye for now.